Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. I'm here to recap UFC 306 main event, the phenomenal event that was UFC 306 in the fantastic, breathtaking venue that is the Sphere. We're going to get into the main event, which was Merab Dvalishvili, our new bantamweight champion, versus former bantamweight champion at this point, Sean O'Malley. But before getting started, make sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. There was two ways of looking at UFC 306. First, the fights, which were breathtaking, almost surreal at times. Some of the fights, especially leading up to the main event, there were some fights on that card that were just absolutely breathtaking, stuff of imagination, almost as if the whole event was AI generated. It's like somebody imagined all of it, and it was just picture perfect. I think it blew all expectations out of the water from beginning to end. Fights and venue, like I said, you had your eyes on the fights and then what was going on in the fights, and we don't know which one was better, the presentation or the fights, the actual meat and potato of the show. That being said, this event will go down in history as one of the most fascinating, breathtaking, I believe life-changing for people that did attend that event, because seeing it on a screen, being that distant, it was it was one of the most captivating events that I've ever witnessed. I cannot imagine what it's like to be in a seat. It makes sense why the tickets were priced the way they were. Every single person that attended that event have attended an event that they will never forget for the rest of their lives. Absolutely historical event, in my personal opinion. The Sphere, I don't think that's the last UFC event that's going to be held in the Sphere. I do understand that the cost of running the place is probably ginormous. All of that to be put together, I do understand there was a lot of money behind this particular event, Riyadh Season and many other sponsors. We talked about that. We gave this event credit once again. Now let's talk about the fight. Merab Dvalishvili dominates former bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley from beginning to end. Sean O'Malley had no answer for Merab's relentlessness. We spoke about this in this channel prior to the fight. We spoke about the similarity between the Georgians and the Dagestanis. The Georgian, that is Merab Dvalishvili, who's also happens to be a native of the Caucasus Mountains, Georgia, Dagestan, neighbors, if I'm not mistaken. The style very similar to Khabib Nurmagomedov, that was implemented directly into the fight against Sean O'Malley. Style-wise, Merab, short for words, in all honesty. All of the wild behavior leading up to the fight, sometimes you think without performances to back up this kind of behavior, that it just looks simply foolish. But now looking back in retrospect, it all makes sense. The confidence, the cut, him posting about the cut. I mean, Sean O'Malley didn't even have a chance to even land a punch on this guy. I don't think Sean O'Malley faced anything even close to this guy. Maybe Peter Yan, but Peter Yan is no Merab Dvalishvili. Obviously, that was evident night of UFC 306. This guy's just on a different level. Like I said, stylistically, very similar to Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, guys that come from Dagestan. Just absolutely dominant, not only on the ground, but this guy was dominant striking-wise. More strikes attempted, more strikes landed. Just absolute dominance. for Merab Dvalishvili, the night of UFC 306. The phenomenal night. Obviously, we saw two new champions being crowned. First, Valentina Shevchenko recapturing her title against an Alexa Grosso, also in dominant fashion, very measured. Fantastic performance from Valentina. And another champion, obviously, Merab Dvalishvili, our new bantamweight champion in the UFC, defeating former bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley in dominant fashion as well. I cannot wait for Merab to face, obviously, Umar Nurmagomedov next. This is going to be a fascinating fight. Obviously, it's going to be 2025. Hopefully, this fight is going to be 2025. And it's going to be one of those fights going to just below the roof off of places. Hopefully, it's going to be back in the sphere. I would love for Merab to defend his title back in the sphere. And obviously, the most obvious opponent at this point is Umar Nurmagomedov, sometime 2025. Speaking about the sphere, I cannot wait for the next event to be hosted at the sphere. Obviously, the commentators hinted to it time and time again. It's going to be very difficult for any other venue to repeat what happened in the sphere. Very difficult. The bar is set very high at this point. Still, UFC 307 is going to be a fascinating night. Roundtree versus Alex Pereira. I'm still going to be tuned in. Obviously, we are all going to be tuned in, but we cannot wait for the next event at the Sphere. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe for more.